The next song on Lightwork is called Heartbreaker. This is my God, this is an interesting song for me because I started writing this one years ago. That main riff, I started writing that years ago, and I could never really make it fit with Lightwork originally because the song structure is very sort of abstract, whereas the overall objective for Lightwork in the beginning was something very simple, very linear. But Lightwork ended up on the record in a funny way. The original song that populated this particular place on the album sequence was called Honey Bunch. And it was a very commercial song that I was frankly uncomfortable with. Che had sung it, and we had Nile Rodgers play guitar on it, and it was very commercial. And there was a lot of talk in the camp while I was working on it of, oh, this song is a hit. All you need is one hit, and then you don't need to think about money again. And it's like such a seductive thought when really what you want to do is just create without parameters. But I also remember thinking I've spent so much of my career not bending to those kinds of thoughts that I was uncomfortable with it. Plus, it was a gimmick song for me. It was never something that I thought, oh yeah, this is a hit, because I didn't, and I still don't think that it would be. But part of its appeal, I think, there's a demo of it online, and it changed significantly, and the final version has never been heard by man nor beast. But it included a remake of a sample from the song Barbie Girl by Aqua. I redid the sample. I thought that would be legally all I would need to do in order to be able to use that. So I redid the keyboard part. I had a different voice actor come in and sing the Hiya Barbie thing. But we found out through Sony that even if that's the case, we still have to get permission from the writers. So we reached out to Aqua, the band Aqua, and we got permission from 3 of the 4 writers. I think that's how it went down, or 2 of the 3. I forget how many writers were. Bottom line is we couldn't get the permission from one of them. So in the very end, like I had been on tour for 3 months, album had been delivered for months. When I landed in Vancouver, I opened up my phone and there was just a string of frantic mails from the label, from the management, saying we have to remove Honey Bunch and replace it with another song. And at this time, Heartbreaker wasn't finished. The record had been done for months, mastered, everything was in, all the artwork was done. Nightwork was done, the bonus album. I said, well, I'm exhausted. How long have we got? And they're like, well, we need it like in 2 days. And I said, there's no way I can do that. So, I'd been away for so long that I just went home all pissed off for a couple hours. I thought, okay, well, we put so much effort into this album that to let it fall apart at the very end, at the 10-yard line, 5-yard line, is not, it negates the amount of work that went into it. So I requested a couple more days, and I think I got in total a week. And I went back and I took Heartbreaker, which had originally been the song that opened up Nightwork, the second album. I rearranged certain parts of it. I mixed it. It was like, and then I had mastered it, but in such a fog of post-tour craziness that it ended up sounding a little different from the record. It has a much different intent than the rest of the album. The album would have been very different had that not been on there. It would have been a lot more linear, and arguably I wouldn't have been as satisfied with it had this thing, hindsight being 2020, come to fruition. And I remember when I talked to the mastering engineer about Heartbreaker, I said, there's that one line on there that says, one day I'll be on my own in front of the ocean and you can all fuck off. And I said, I've put so much effort into making this album consciously positive. Is this something that you think is, in your opinion, gonna kind of sweep the legs out from underneath it? And he had some really good points. He said, listen, man, it's been really stressful. This whole process, this whole last year for you has been awful. He knew that. He says, I think that by allowing that part of the sentiment to remain, you're being more honest with this project than had it been Honey Bunch. And now when I hear the song and it comes to that part, it makes me smile, actually, because I'm like, yeah, that's how I was feeling. The song itself is about a relationship. For me, I chose Men and Women just because that's my orientation. But it's about any relationship, you know. And I think it's there's a couple lines in there I really like as a result. I really like the idea of the right after the second verse there, where the protagonist is saying, "You promised me you'd be here until the end," and then the other side going, "Well, please know that your pain is noted," like a very sort of flat-lined response. I thought that was great, and also I like the part in this song of the young female voice singing, "I have powers that equal and surpass." And at the end, I don't mean to be petty, man, but I win. I think Heartbreaker's cool as a result of that, and I'm happy it's in there. There's a couple of mixed things that I would have done differently had I been in a more present frame of mind, but spill milk.